Okay. See, first thing, propositions are from Pega decisioning and actions are from Pega marketing. So both are actually same, but there is a small difference between proposition and action. Okay, we will understand what is the difference and what is the thing. Before that, let us recap what we have done yesterday. So as part of the yesterday session, we have seen the application creation. Within the application, there are several rule sets that are created. One is the artifact rule set, which is storing the auto-generated rules. Second is NBAD tests rule set.
Ravi, are you sharing the screen? What is it?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen.
Yes, I can see the
Able-
screen.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's visible. Yes, I can see.
yeah. Please rejoin if anyone not able to see. Please rejoin again. So then we have the NBAD tests, which is going to store the testing related rules. Okay, it's going to store the testing related rules. Then we have the ops manager rule set, which will store the ops manager changes done as part of business requests. Then we have the xcar component automatically installed, which will install the data model like the classes, tables, columns, all these things. Then NBAD template will also be installed, which will load some sample offer, sample categories, and all those things. Then we also have next thing is our uh, what you say, the Gen AI framework. Okay, the Gen AI framework is also installed, which is used for Gen AI related operations, which we are going to see in the coming sessions. Then we also have the next thing that is installed is the Pega DevOps Foundation, which is used by revision manager for automated deployments of ops manager changes. That means whatever the change request that we get from the ops manager to Pega by the change requests, those changes which you work in Dev Studio, you will be deploying it automatically with revision manager. So all these things are automatically created, and one more thing is the context dictionary is also automatically created in the application itself using the wizard. Okay, using the wizard. So everything is automated. Nothing you are doing manually. Just simple 3 to 4 step wizard is there, and you are going to do it. I think one more thing also which is we have forgot, that is a external Cassandra database that is also automatically created, which will be pointed to DDS service. It's a DDS node. So all these things are automatically created for us, and you will be able to proceed with the existing implementation. Next, we have started with taxonomy, where we have three components: the business issue, which is nothing but the purpose of the promotion. Then we have the under the business issue, you will have the business groups, which is the category of the promotion. Under the business groups, you have the propositions itself, which is the promotions itself. That is anything you propose to the customer. Okay, so like we have the business issue, for example, like acquisition, one of the issue, or sales. The purpose why I am promoting is to increase the sales. Now under the sales, for example, for a banking you have personal loans, home loans, etc. Now under the personal loans, let us say you have something to promote like 1 CR personal loan, 50 lakhs housing loan, something like this. This is nothing but whatever you are proposing. So let us resume from there and let us understand more concepts, and before we go to the next steps. So I hope that till here it's clear whatever we have done, starting from the environment setup till creating the taxonomy. So I'm going to the intelligence prediction studio.
Ra- yeah, Ravi.
Yeah, yeah, please go ahead.
Actually, I am struggling in while creating application. For creating application in Pega personal edition, do we need to do any changes? Mean that the server setting things are not required.
No, that's what in personal edition there is no CDH. You have to do it in community edition or cloud edition.
Yeah,
You know?
actually, yeah, I am trying to create the application, but whatever you have shown in the session and whatever I am seeing while creating, both are
Not an issue.
different.
We can check in the end of the session. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So I have gone to the intelligence prediction studio, and in the dev studio, we need to click on the decisioning infrastructure services where you see all the services. You need to go to the decisioning decisions proposition management where you can configure the business taxonomy, which contains business issues. For example, I want to grow my business. I want to retain my customers. This is my purpose. Within that, you will have the business groups. That is a category which I want to promote. For example, credit cards. Now, I'm clicking on the credit card. I'm opening the credit cards. So you can see there are already certain credit cards which are there. So what we will do, we will export this template and we will import the new propositions here. Again, there is some bug is there here. So it will work sometimes, it will doesn't work sometimes. So there's some issue in the backend. So I am in the grow business issue within credit cards group. The purpose of the promotion is to increase, that is to grow the business. And which I want to grow? I want to grow the credit cards group, which is the category of my promotion. Now I just click on the export button. So I just clicked on the export button and I will open this file. Okay, I opened this file. Now in regular scenario, this is how you do. You don't add everything manually. You just import and you'll just export and add the records and import it. So already there are four propositions are there. Now what I will do, I'll just copy this, paste it. Okay. You can see this PY issue, right? PY issue is the business issue. So I am leaving it as it is. Then I'll just scroll to the right side. So you can see PY name. PY name is the proposition name that you are promoting. Okay. PY issue is the business issue. PY name is the proposition name. So for example, I'll give the name of the proposition as MasterCard. Okay. Then there is something called benefits, which is nothing but the description or the usage of that. Okay. For example, I will say this just some random text I'm giving. Okay. MasterCard for better life, something like this. Okay. This I'm giving. Now scroll to the right side. So here we have the PY group, which is nothing but the business group. Okay, PY group is nothing but the business group. Now we also have something called key code. So this key code is the unique value for every proposition. It should always be unique. You cannot keep two propositions with same key code. It's like ID. Okay, it's like an idea of the proposition. So I'm just giving it as Mastercard. Now, okay, remaining things are optional. You can change it or not, your wish. You also have one more thing that is called PY label. So remember, okay, so here I'm just writing once again. Business group is PY group. Business issue is PY issue. Proposition name is PY name. You also have one more thing that is called PY label, which is the uh, description of the proposition. Description of the proposition. So remember, proposition name, that is the PY name, should not contain spaces. Okay, should not contain spaces. So if you want to show some spaces, or if you want to display the description or some short form of this proposition name, you need to display the py label. Okay, py label can contain spaces, which is the basically the short description, which is nothing but the short description of your proposition. So remember, the py name should not contain any spaces and any special characters and all that. But you can do the same thing for py label. It is nothing but a abbreviated version of py name, where I can keep some spaces and underscrolls and all those things. Okay, so I'll just add one more, then we will import it.
Sir, can you please write about that key code in the notepad?
Okay, okay, sure. So key code is the unique id for each proposition. Okay, yeah.
Sir, I
Probably.
also have a question. You
Ah,
mentioned PY label is the description, but in the Excel it's saying like benefit is the description.
no, benefit is something which is the just advantages or uses of the particular proposition. That's it. So you are promoting something, then what is the benefit of that to the customer? So it is like a long description, you can say, or complete purpose of this thing, or what all features are there for this particular offer. This is not the description. This is like a what are the advantages or what are the features of this proposition. Okay, the
Okay,
description
so
is py label. Short description is py label.
okay,
Okay,
Okay.
like you should
So
not keep this
one
very
question, Harsha.
lengthy.
So
Yeah.
this entire record, right? So what we call the entire record, because it has inside propositions, it has inside business group, but on combining the whole record, what we call inside DSM.
No, this
Strategy.
no. This is so you mean to say this entire thing?
Yeah.
Decision data. Decision data. We call it decision data.
Okay.
So we can
Decision
say
data. So
yes.
whatever those four existing decision data records, right? So those comes along with the actual
No,
DSM instance,
no,
or are
no,
we
no.
did we added all these four?
No, this is part of exercise system.
Oh,
It
okay,
will,
okay, okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So altogether, this is called as decision data. So we have a separate topic. We will learn what is decision data and why do we call that and what is the purpose. All those things. Yeah. So I'm taking one more card. Let us call it Visa card for shopping and traveling. So here also I will be updating as Visa card. Scroll to the right side and here also I'm updating as Visa card.
Harsha, this is Praveen here. Actually, today is the first class I joined.
Mm.
So to set up this exercise system and all, if I go through the previous days recordings, I can catch up, right?
Yes, yes, we can do that.
Okay.
Yes, we can do that. Okay. Okay. So I have added two propositions apart from what we have already. So the main properties I'm telling you, remaining things are fine. You can ignore. OOTP properties. One is a PO issue, which is a business issue. Second thing is PY proposition active. This is also one more important property. So this property is nothing but this field. So when you are creating a new proposition, see when you are creating a new proposition, there is this option, right? Active, always, never, within defined time period. So that is this property is proposition active. Okay. If you are selecting always, it will be always. Otherwise, it will be never. If you are selecting some date, it will show the value as date. Okay. So that is this property is proposition active. So then we have the proposition name, that is a py name, and we have the py group and the key code. and the py label. All these are the important properties here. Now let us go ahead and import it. Let us go to the import. Okay, I'll just refresh. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so just let me. Okay, so I have imported this and I click on the load button. So you can see here there are total 6 records, 2 records are added, and you can see the 2 propositions are added here. So that is how you import the propositions. Okay, so that is how you import the propositions here. So regardless if it is uh, 10 propositions, 100 propositions, all these things generally in real time you add it through Excel. You will export it and you will add the records and you will import it. Okay, clear? Any questions still here?
In the update, it says everything got updated. So is it a full refresh or?
Where this one? Huh? Yeah, this is a full refresh. Yes. Okay. Any questions still here? Okay.
Ravi, is
So
proposition same as action in the previous
right.
version?
Proposition is same as action. There is a small difference. I will tell you in the later session.
Okay, but
Hi
is it
Ravi.
called action now in 24?
Hmm.
It is still called action, is it, in 24?
Yeah, it's still
Uh,
still an action, but there is a difference is there. I'll tell you. But yeah, we can call it action also. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi Ravi. So my question is the key code property can be auto-generated or we have to manually give?
We have to manually
Uh,
give. We have to manually give.
okay. So it
Yeah.
it cannot so you said it cannot be. I mean, it should be a unique value, right?
Right.
Every
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So now we have seen importing the propositions. So coming to the business taxonomy. So this taxonomy now we have covered business issue. In our case, it is grow. That means I want to grow my business. So the name is grow. Under business issue, I have business group, which we in our case it is credit cards. Now within business group we have propositions. In our case, it is MasterCard, Visa card. Now what next? So anything that you promote, for example, I am promoting a laptop. So when I am promoting a laptop, there will be certain features or certain specifications for every product that you promote. Like what is a laptop color, what is a laptop hard disk space, what is the price of the laptop, all these things. So those you call it as attributes. Okay, in Pega decisioning, we call it as attributes, which is nothing but the characteristics of the proposition. Okay, the characteristics of the propositions are called as attributes. So in our case, for example, monthly EMI. What is a monthly EMI? What is the, let us say, tenure, okay, or let us say the expiry date? What is the expiry date? Or let us say what is the um, let us say some duration, something like that. Okay, so something like this. This is common for anything, right? You call this common for anything. You promote a product, discount, service, anything. There will be some attributes will be there. So let us see how do we add those attributes. So in order to add the attributes for the propositions that you are creating, you need to go to the form tab. So within the form tab, you will have all these fields which are coming in the export, right? These are the fields which are OOTB fields. We did not create this. All you need to do is just click on add field. So then, since this is a credit cards group, let us add something related to the credit cards. So let us give something like monthly EMI, something like this. Okay, monthly EMI, and let us. Okay, so just you need to create it. See again, this is where the Pega case management and Pega BPM comes into picture. Without knowing how to create a property and all these things, it will be difficult for you. So that's the reason which I told you need to know the basic Pega. Okay, you need to know the basic Pega. So I'm just creating a property. So okay, just click on save. Same way, let us add two more properties. Let us add here. Uh, just click on add field. So
Sir,
let
we are
us add.
adding it in the CDH artifact rules. Is that okay? Or
No, 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 no. Sorry, you need to add it in rules rule set. Okay. Yeah,
uh,
I
okay, sir.
think. Yeah. So next we will add uh, something like what you say. Don't get it. Let us call some expiry month or something like this. Okay, just I'm giving it in rules rule set. So create in rules rule set. Everything should be in rules rule set. So yeah, let us keep it same. That's it for now. Now just save this.
Sir, how did the existing property were already present in the credit cards?
Yeah, actually this is in exercise system. In real time you will not get all this.
Okay, so in real time we have to create.
Right, you have to create.
Okay.
Yeah, in real time you don't see all these properties. Okay.
Even can this be imported or this has to be created manually one by one?
No, this has to be created. Whatever I created, no, this has to be created. Monthly MI, expiry month, like how I'm doing, you have to do the same thing.
I mean, in the sense, if there are like some 20, 30 properties, each property has to go to the add field and we have to create each one by
Mhm,
one.
yes, yes, correct. You have to do it one by one. Yeah. So there is no option to create with some export or something. Yeah, you have to do it. Okay. So now we have created two properties. Now you can go to each and every proposition and you can update that. So like again, I will give the expiry month something like January, monthly EMI something like 50,000 or something, 5,000 I'm giving. Save. Same way, let us do for other propositions also. Giving December monthly EMI, I'm giving some 10,000. Save it. I'm giving here March 5,000.
So, Harsha, like whatever the form data we created, right? This experiment and monthly EMI, this
Hmm.
is specific to the subgroup, right? Like under decision data, we have grow, and under that we have credit card as a
Right,
group. So
right, correct.
whatever we created, those are specific to this particular group.
Right, exactly, correct.
So why can't we keep it at the
Yeah,
business issue level? Yeah.
I'll come to that. Yeah, we'll do that also. I'll show you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, so now I am giving the data for all the propositions that we have created. Okay, I'm creating the proposition attributes for all the propositions now. So all you need to do is go to the form tab and add the fields here. This is where you need to add the fields. Then whatever the fields that you added here, they will be automatically coming in the propositions form, in the proposition form. So these are nothing but the characteristics of your proposition, which is nothing but like any proposition, right? Anything, it will have some characteristics like what is the color, what is the price, what is the warranty years, so like that. So all those proposition characteristics I'm just adding it here. Okay, clear till here?
So just a quick question. In the forms, I'm seeing
Hmm.
some 20 different properties, but if you
Hmm.
open a specific credit card, sorry, in the data, if you're opening a specific credit card, I'm just seeing four over there.
Right,
Monthly EMI.
actually they are all system
Same
generated, just
question.
like how you have px properties, right? So same way they are restricted in the backend not to be shown. Okay.
Okay, okay,
Yeah. So like we have px create date time, update date time, which don't come on the UI. Same way the restriction is made. But if you see, these are the four which are created by decisioning architect, not the system admin, not generated by system admin. So that's the reason these four are coming in the UI. Okay, so these four are coming in the screen. If you see
okay,
any proposition, only these four are coming. So these are the custom properties which we created. And like I told you, in real-time project, you don't have all these things. It will not be there.
okay, okay. I was just making sure how come was just seeing
Yeah,
four.
yeah. You won't see that.
Thank you.
Okay. Now you might be getting a doubt here. So let me just make a note first of all. So to add the attributes for proposition, you go to the form tab and add the fields. Save the decision data and open individual proposition and update. Again, you can update it by opening each and every proposition, or when you export this also, you will be seeing all the properties, whatever the properties that we have created, right? Those
Attributes.
properties will also come. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, like properties means attributes of the proposition.
Right, right, attributes of proposition, correct. So you see, these are the two properties that we created: monthly EMI, expiry month. All these are also coming in the exported file. So that is the first thing. First thing, before you actually create the proposition, you need to get the all the list of attributes which the business is expecting. Then only you have to then only you have to add the propositions, because it will be again rework, right? So that is the reason. First you have to create all the attributes required for the proposition. Like for example, you are working for a e-commerce, so then what is the price, what is the return days, how, what is the warranty, like that you need to add all the attributes, then you have to start adding the data. That's how you have to do. Okay, now you might be getting a doubt. For example, I need to select some drop down. For example, I need to select some drop down like how many years warranty, or how many years this credit card is applicable, like 5 years, 2 years, 6 years, 10 years, like that. I need a drop down. Or I need something like some radio button, that means this credit card is applicable only for 21 years above or below, some yes or no kind of checkbox or something. How do we get all those fields? How do we get all those controls, I can say? So to do that, you have these two options. One is generated form. This is nothing but the generated form. This is called as a custom form. Okay. There are two things: generated form, which is this one, and second there is the custom form. So you need to click on use custom form. Whenever you click on use custom form, what happens is, in the backend there is a section called py edit element. This is a OOTB section. What it will do is, whenever you click on custom form, from the base class it will create a circumstance to this particular issue and group. Okay, it will create a circumstanced version of the same section, circumstanced by this issue and group. That's what will happen. So this is a OOTB section, that is a py edit element. So I'm doing the submit here, and
So I mean,
let me
over
see.
here, what do you mean by circumstanced?
Yeah, I'll show you what is that. So till now, whatever we have done is, we have done generated form. Now we are actually doing custom form. So when I click on the custom form, the same py edit element section will be circumstanced, and it will create a new circumstanced version circumstanced by the group name, that is the credit cards. Okay, so while creating circumstance, you will create, for example, when the application equal to debit cards, show this particular form. When the application equal to credit cards, you show some other form, right? Something like that, right? You will be doing it, right? Same way, you will be doing it. Okay, I think this is remote. Okay, just you need to, yeah, you don't need to worry now. I think that is also updated now, which is changed to this credit card. So directly they are keeping it the credit card's name. Okay, so you don't need to worry. I think this is the previous version. Okay, maybe you can make a note here.
It looks
That is
like
before,
special. Okay,
right?
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from 23 it's not there. Before 23 we will have something called py edit element. Remember this section name. Like again, if you are using old version, you need to worry. Otherwise, no need to worry. So py edit element circumstanced by group name. Okay, whatever, wherever the group that you are creating, I'm creating the custom form in credit cards group. Then it will create circumstance equal to this credit cards, and it will create the same section. But after 23, this is not there. No py edit element. Directly it will create a section with the group name. It will create a section with the group name. That's what it will do. So even if you see here the py edit element, so for example, I'm opening, I'm just thinking if anything is there with the existing thing. Let me try this py edit element. Yeah, you see here available circumstances. Okay, before 23 you will have something like this py edit element. Whenever you click on this custom form, immediately this section will be created with circumstance value. Here you will be seeing something like value equal to credit cards, like that. Okay, so if you are creating the custom form from debit cards, circumstance value will be debit cards. So like that, this section will be created before 23 version. After 23 version, this py element you don't need to worry. The section will be created with the same name as group name, so which is the credit cards group. So that is how it is created.
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
one question here, Harsh, like let's say under one business group, we have 10 propositions. So that means for all 10 propositions, are we going
Yeah.
to have a single section? Let's say if we
Yes.
want to specialize for each proposition also. So is that
That
possible?
we can, no, that we cannot do. So all you can
Okay.
do is you can just ignore the data for a proposition. You can have all the fields. Which
Hmm.
proposition don't have any data, you will not keep any data for that. That's it.
Okay. Okay. So this is at proposition level, like business group
Yes.
level. Okay.
Group level, correct.
Okay.
So previously we used to have py edit element at group level. Now the
Hmm.
section name is nothing but the group name. That is how it
Yeah.
will be created. Okay, now we can start adding our custom controls. So I'm just going to convert. Then let us do one thing. We'll just uh, delete this, and I will just add here uh, the date time here. So I'll give the property with the property that we have created. So again, obvious, this is all section controls and everything which is there in Pega CSA. So that is why Pega CSA is very important to learn Pega decisioning. Not only this, we will also see data transforms, activities, service rest, all those things. So that's the reason very important that you already know Pega CSA. So I'm giving expiry month here, and let us submit. Same way, let us add some more fields. Let us add a checkbox. Okay, let us add a checkbox. Let us call it something like age applicable. So again, rule set. Remember this. Taking it as a boolean field. Okay. Yeah, this should be enough. So I'll just say applicable for 21 years below age, something like this. Okay, I'm just giving something like this. That's it.
Yeah.
Again, the screen is yours. You can add whatever the fields that you want as per the requirement. Multi-select, drop down, whatever it is. As per the requirement, you can add everything that you want. So now I'll just check in. Custom controls.
So Harsha, while
So
you are adding this section for business unit grow and subcategory credit cards, so that SR in the class name, right? Will
we'll
we
come to
publish
that.
that?
We'll come to that. Yeah, we'll come
Okay.
to that one. Yeah. So now if you go back and let us open the proposition, and we can see everything that we have created here, right? So that is how you will create the attributes using custom controls. Okay, so you can add any controls, like you can add links, description. Okay, links, descriptions, drop downs, multi select, everything, whatever you want as per the requirement you can add it. Okay, like some labels, some headings, and everything that you want. Okay, so like you can explore that, you can add whatever you want here. All you need to do is form tab, then custom form. So by default it will be using the generated form. That means whatever the fields that you add here, that will be coming. And if you want to switch to the advanced controls, you have to click on custom form, which will create a section name with the same name as the group name it will create. Okay, then you can add all the fields. Okay, now you can, yeah, you can go ahead and you can update it and you can change whatever however you want. Clear? Any questions here?
Is it possible to add those attributes to a specific proposition? Because when you're adding, it's adding to all the propositions.
No, we cannot add. So like I told, whichever proposition don't need any data, you can keep it blank, you can keep it empty. Whichever need the data, you can add it. Okay, for example, for premier credit cards, I don't have any expiry month, just leave it empty. That's it. That's how you have to keep it. Okay, we cannot keep specific to proposition. Okay, so
One more
again,
question. So once we use that custom form, right, for the business unit or a business group, then what will happen to the base rule? So will that still be there? Like let's say if we delete this custom form, it will go back to the base
yeah,
version.
that is where we have to use this versioning concept actually. So again, the checkout, check-in, everything will be there. That is there as usual in Pega, like how it is there. But like I told, it's recommended to create versions of the rule set if you are doing any changes. Right now I'm not doing, I'm just showing it everything in the same version. But in real time, if you are doing any change, you have to
Hmm.
keep it in the next version. Okay. Yeah.
Ravi,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
how, we have in BPM, how the rule resolution works, the same
Mhm.
way here also it works, like in CDH also?
Yes, same way. Yes. So everything
Okay.
is same. Actually, everything is same as Pega BPM. Only thing is you are just learning some extra features and extra topics, which will help the Pega decision. Instead of custom creation,
So,
Pega has given some inbuilt topics and inbuilt features. Yeah.
so whenever we want to add a new attribute, I think we can actually create a new version and then
Right.
add attributes, right? So that's
Right.
how, yeah. Okay,
Right. Exactly.
fine. Yeah.
And
Same like
can we
how it was
reuse
Pega, right?
that
Same way.
attribute?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and can we reuse that same attribute in other group, or we
Yeah,
cannot use
that's
it?
where we will come to know this is inheritance concept. Yeah, we'll come to know that now. So till
Okay.
here, everything is clear,
So
or any questions here?
um, the propositions that we made it in the form tab, right?
Right.
Form fields. Okay. So here we cannot add any, like if we want any field to be a drop down or a radio box, here we
No, no,
cannot make that changes.
no. By
Only
default,
from
it
that edit.
yes. By default, it will be only text. So you have to add it in the section only in the section. Okay. So the important thing is whatever the fields that you are adding in the section, you should add those fields here also. That is important because if you are using these propositions somewhere, then these properties which are there in this form tab, they will only be used. Otherwise, it will not be able to pick the properties which are there in the section. So remember this thing. Okay. So I have created two properties, right? So I did create age applicable, right?
Okay. So property creation has to be done from this form, but you can customize the display of it using the customized form.
Correct. Yes. Anything. See, anyway, you do it from here, you do it from there. That is your wish. But the only thing is, once you are done, just add those fields here. That is important.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
So it doesn't matter whether you're doing first in the custom form or in the forms.
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Yes. Okay. But at the end of the day, when you are checking in, when you check in, make sure that it's added here. The purpose is if you are not adding here, then these fields which are not there here cannot be what you say cannot be picked up in the strategies or wherever you are calling this proposition. It will not be available to pick up. Okay, that is the thing.
Sir, then in the custom form, when you have typed dot age something, how it was able to pick it up when the property itself is not present in the forms?
It's present, right? uh, it's in the same class, right? It's in the same class, credit cards class. Here also we created in the same class, right? Same thing. You don't need to think like a rule perspective or something. It is checking in the same class whether these
I
properties are
mean,
there.
I mean,
Dot is not required. Dot is not required here. Okay. Here you
uh,
are selecting the ID. You are selecting the ID. Dot is not required to enter.
Ravi,
Hmm.
first you have created in the customized form, then you're
Hmm.
creating over here. So the question I have is, unless you
Hmm.
have created over here the age applicable, how it
No,
was
that's what I'm
present
telling
in?
you. You don't need to do that way.
Okay,
That's what I'm
okay,
telling you. No, you can create the property from the section. From here also you can create, or you can first create it here and then also you can add it here. There is
okay, okay,
nothing restriction like you have to add first here then only add. So either you create, you either you add a field here, then you click on create property and you save it, right? You do that way, or you directly go to the section and from here onwards you click on this icon and you create it. Your wish, how you want to create it is your wish.
okay.
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 Yeah.
Thank you.
At the end of the day the properties are
Ravi,
there in this class only.
yeah, can you please also tell us about the backend perspective of whatever we have created now?
Yeah, yeah, we
Like
are coming. Sorry.
how we can check the tables, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll come to the SR class. We'll come to know more about this. So now coming to this, we have seen the
Ravi, I
custom
have a question.
form. Yeah, yeah, go ahead.
I can see all the attributes are single page attributes, like there were no page group or page list properties. Can we have in that type?
We can add that way also. Your wish. Okay. You can add a table. You can add a repeating dynamic layout. Okay. Choice is yours. However you want, you can add it. Same like our section only. It is nothing but our section only. There is nothing different. There is no restriction anywhere. You can add a page list, page group, table, repeating grid, descriptions, everything. Whatever you want, you can add it as per the requirement.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we have generated form which has only text field attributes, okay, with no custom controls. Now, if you want to add custom controls as per the requirement like drop downs, radio buttons, everything, you need to click on custom form, which will create a new section with the same group name with all the advanced controls, etc. Okay, and make sure the fields created in custom form are added in the form tab. That's it. That is what you have to make sure. Okay, that's what you have to make sure. Now open the proposition and update the fields. Okay. Now coming to the background of this. So basically, what is this thing and where it is creating all those things. So we have a special class for Pega decisioning called as SR class. SR stands for strategy result class. SR stands for strategy result class. So this is a special class which is there only for Pega decisioning implementation. Now when this special class strategy result class will be created is whenever you create at least one business issue in this proposition management, automatically then the SR class will be created. Okay. So right now you see there are all these business issues are there. Acquire, how many are there? Total 7 business issues are there. So whenever you create at least one business issue, immediately when you create a one first business issue, this SR class will be created. Okay. If you don't have any business issues, then this SR class will not be created automatically. So since you have many business issues, the SR class is automatically created with this particular format. So what is the format is your application ID, that means the short ID will be there, right? When you are creating the application, on the top you can see application ID is CDH, application ID dash SR dash issue name, that's a business issue, okay, dash business group. This is how automatically the class will be created. Okay. So if you have issues, then you will have like this. If you have business issue without any business group, then it will be like this. The business group class will not be there. So it will follow the same pattern inheritance like how we have in our Pega BPM. Like for example, I have a field something like customer ID. I have a field something like customer ID. So this customer ID is used both in debit cards and credit cards. So I don't need to create this field specifically at credit cards level, right? Directly I can keep it at, for example, I can keep it at CDH-SR. I can keep it like this. Here I can keep the customer ID. Something specific to debit cards. For example, debit card ID. I'll set SR dash grow dash debit cards. Something I have something like, for example, debit card monthly price or monthly EMI, something like this. Okay, something specific to my debit cards I'm creating at debit cards level. So it will follow the same pattern inheritance how you have in our Pega. So whenever you are creating a property also, if that property is needed for other groups or for other issues, then better to create at SR level. Better to create at SR level. If it is needed only for your group or if it is needed throughout the issue level, then create at issue level. Here you can create. So same, exactly same how you do it in Pega BPM. So if you explore this, right? So and again, you don't need to create this class. It's automatically created when at least one business issue is there in your application, then automatically it will be created when you create the first business issue. So if you go to the application CDH, that is my application ID dash SR, that's it. So you see everything whatever is there in our application, all the business issues are displayed here. Then if you expand the grow, we have whatever we created, right? In the credit cards, everything will be there. Okay. Under grow credit cards, under data model, we created some properties, right? The same thing. uh, yeah, expiry month, monthly EMI, age applicable. So the 3 properties that we created, it is coming here. So application ID dash SR dash the issue name dash group name. That is how it will be automatically created. When you create here, automatically the class will be generated. Okay. And if you want to know the table where it is created, like you can explore and see yourself also. So again, it will follow the inheritance. If you want to keep it at issue level, keep it here. If you want to keep it at a group level, then create the property at credit cards. If you want to use something In all the issues, in all the groups, then better create at SR level. Okay. So when I explore this, you can see it is there in the Pega data only. Okay, it's there in Pega data only. It's not in some other table. Again, nothing what we are discussing will go to Cassandra database. Everything that we are discussing will go to Pega data database. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Any questions?
Sir, yes, sir. Like previously in the previous classes, we have learned about primary context and secondary context. Is there any relationship with that context and with this business taxonomy?
No, no, no relation. That is different. This is different.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a completely different topic, but we can decide which context will use which taxonomy, which context will not use which taxonomy. Like that, we can decide in the strategy. Okay, yeah, but there's a different. This is different.
And
Harsha, I missed the last part which you mentioned, like Cassandra database and normal database. So could you just
Mm.
repeat that one?
Yeah. So what I am telling is whatever the business taxonomy, which is nothing but
Mm-hmm.
the business issues, business groups, propositions,
Mm.
everything will go to Pega data only. Nothing
Okay.
will be stored to Cassandra database. Like I told you,
Okay.
custom Cassandra database, two things: customers interactions, then
Mm.
customers decisions. When I say interactions, you send something, he said no. Again, you send something, he said yes. All this interaction history. Customer decision means whatever we proposed to the customer. Okay. In last
Okay.
year, I proposed a laptop. So this year, what happened last year when I proposed a laptop, he has rejected it. So this
Mm.
year we don't need to promote, or this month we don't need to promote, something like this. This is the information for Pega models. Customer
Okay. Okay.
decision. Customer decision means uh, what we have given to the customer. That's a
Yeah.
customer decision. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that will be stored in Cassandra.
Ravi,
Yeah.
Ravi, can you
and
show the part?
Show
How
the
did
what?
you open the Pega data table?
Here. Okay.
Means how did you open the Pega
Configure.
data table?
Yeah. Configure decisioning, decisions, proposition management. This is what you're asking, right? Or,
I know you have,
yes.
before you have opened the Pega data table, right? Means how business issues and groups are stored in Pega data table. A new window is opened.
Okay. Yeah. Decisioning, decisions, proposition management. This is the one. No? Okay. New window. Yeah. You have to come here. Grow. Click on the business group. On the right side, you will get this link. Click on that. Are you talking about this one?
No, before you have said that all the business issues and groups are going to be stored in Pega data table, right? Instead of
Right.
caching that table.
Yes. No, I just went to
I
here.
want
Right?
to know the path. How did you open?
Yeah, I just went to here. Open the class record. Same like how we do in Pega, right? You click on the class, then test connection.
Yeah,
Then
okay.
you can see. Yeah. So it is
Yeah,
stored
got
in
it.
some table called PRDM proposition. Okay, in the backend, this is the table name which is stored. Okay, in Pega data database. Yeah. Yeah. So again, like most of these concepts are from Pega BPM. So if you want to explore the table, like you can just open the class and click on test connection, which will show the table name. So that's the reason. So like all these things, like creating the property, pattern inheritance. So all this is same as Pega BPM. So like if anyone is not comfortable with CSA, please also parallelly learn the Pega CSA. Okay. Yeah.
Ravi, as we are working on cloud, Pega Cloud now, we are practicing, right? Like, but we can't experience the tables and all, right? Like, we cannot.
No, I don't think there is a query runner at least here. If that is there, then yeah, there is no query runner. We cannot. But like
Okay.
again, there is some this thing is there, right? Modify schema where you can go and see. You can check there, like what all columns are there, what is the length of that column. All these things you can see here. Okay,
Oh,
go
okay.
to
Yeah.
here and what is the property name? That's PR underscore MKT, right? Something is here. Okay, this is the one PRDM proposition. Okay, PRDM, yeah, PRDM proposition. Click on next. So you can see here all the classes, that means tables associated, and which all columns are there. You can click on this. You can see these are the columns which are there. Yeah, main important columns you know already: py label, py name, py issue, py group. These are the four important properties. Okay, yeah,
Okay, yeah, got it. Thank
yeah.
you.
Now check
And
the
one more thing, it'll be great if you can share some scenario-based interview questions, as in when you cover the topics. Um,
okay,
yeah,
yeah.
maybe at the end
One
of the
question,
session.
one question someone has asked it today, right? What is the difference between proposition and action? That's a very common question, will be asked in the interview. Every interview they will ask that. What is the difference between proposition and action? So you want me to explain now, or we'll see later what you want? I can do anytime.
You
Not
can
an issue.
explain, Ravi, or else I don't want to have that question.
Okay. So like I was telling, right? Proposition is something that you create at Pega decisioning. Okay. Again, both are same except one difference. Second thing, action is something that you create as part of Pega marketing. Okay. Now, what is the difference here means you can say proposition and action both are same except actions are automatically backed up by proposition, but vice versa is not same. That means whenever you create a proposition, right? Whenever you create a proposition, it will be used for Pega decisioning purpose. Then well and good. But when I go to the customer decision hub, in the content you have actions. Okay, you see I have actions. You see whatever the proposition that I created, right? Mastercard, Visa card, these two things I created today, they are not coming in the actions. I went to content actions. Now let us say I create an action here. So I create something called, let us say I create something called, I'll select here grow credit cards. I'll create something called Rupee debit card. Okay, I'm just creating here Rupee debit card. Again, it's not, it's a PY label. Okay, don't worry whether this is proposition. This is a PY label. You can see that short description. In the backend, it will be stored without spaces. PY name will never have the spaces. Okay, now you see I have created one action that is called Rupee debit card. I have saved this action. So now it is saved. It's taking some time. Okay, it is saved now. Now go to the actions and refresh. You can see this Rupee debit card proposition is created here. Okay, we give Rupee. Okay, yeah. You see, Rupee debit card proposition is created. That means both are same. The only difference is actions are automatically backed up by proposition, but vice versa is not same. That means when you create an action, a proposition will be created in the backend, but when you create a proposition, an action will not be created. That is what is happening, right? I created Rubey credit card that is coming in the screen, but whatever I created here, that is Mastercard, Visa card, that is not there here. Okay, that is not there here. But when I created an action, proposition is created in the backend. So that is what you call, that's the difference. Main difference is that is what actions are backed up by proposition, but vice versa is not same. Understood? Yes, ma'am.
Is there a
So
But
do
business
we have
scenario where
yeah, so do we have a rule type for action as well? Like for proposition, we have a rule type.
Hmm.
Let's
Right,
say
right.
if we give,
We have a rule type.
okay, that's a
I'll
separate
figure it
rule.
out and tell you. Yeah, we have some things that, yeah. Yeah,
Ravi,
but
what
coming
is
to the
the
difference, this is the difference.
yeah
Mm.
from this is the technical difference. What about from the business perspective?
Business
Uh,
perspective, see, business perspective, it's the same thing. For example, like I told, propositions are purely used in Pega decisioning. So the thing is, without an action, we cannot promote to the customer, or yeah, we cannot promote to the customer. Action is purely Pega marketing topic, and every proposition should have a matching action. Okay, should have a matching action to send to the customer. If you just create a proposition, we can see action is not created, so then we cannot send it to the customer. Then what is the purpose of this? Means it is only for logic purpose. That means for a given customer, what is the best offer out of all these things? What is the best offer? That is only how it is used. But for example, all these propositions are there for a given customer. Mastercard is the next best action. Then you cannot send it, because for Mastercard there is no appropriate action is there here. Okay, for every proposition there should be a matching action in order to send to the customer. Without that we cannot send to the customer. Now how do we create that? Means whenever you create an action with the same name, it will be created. Or whenever you create an action with the same case, like how you kept M capital C capital, you have to create an action also here with same M capital C capital. Then in the backend, Pega will automatically link this proposition with this action. That's what it will do. Okay, so for example, you have created some propositions which are used mainly for logic, that is in strategies. It is used mainly in strategies, but propositions cannot be sent to the customer. Now if you want to send that propositions to the customer, we have to create a matching action for that
Hmm.
proposition. Okay,
Uh,
so now I have created an action called Mastercard. I have created with the same case M capital C capital. Then Pega will automatically link this proposition with this action,
okay.
provided that you create in the same issue and same group. That also you have to match. So when you do exactly, if you match like this, then it will automatically link it. So that is a main difference from a functional side. Actions are used to send to the customer. Without an action, we cannot communicate that offer to the customer. Then the only scope will be for logic creation, that is which is the
Hmm.
best NBA. That's it.
When we say logic creation inside the business, can you give one example, let's say for Visa card,
Hmm.
when we are not even sending it to the customer as a proposition, as an or next best
Hmm.
action? What is the
Right.
use of that particular proposition that we created? Can you give
So
simple
again,
logic?
there is several systems which will have for sending to the customers. Okay, so we don't specifically need to send from Pega only every time. So
Okay.
business will have several systems, several third-party providers, or business can use Pega decisioning only for identifying the NBA. They can do this offline also. For example, using Pega decisioning for a given customer, we identify Visa card is the best credit card. So once Visa card is identified as best credit card, you don't need to send from Pega only. You can do some offline promotion. Okay, for this customer, you can send the Visa card through some agent or through some courier, through some delivery like that. And not only this, there are several other systems are there, right? To send the emails and all those. You don't need to rely on Pega marketing itself. So many third-party providers are there to do the
Hmm.
same thing. Okay.
So, this action rule type, right? We were discussing, Ravi. So, can we
Hmm.
compare this rule type as one of the a simple work object? Action as a simple work object,
Not a work object. That is not correct. Not a work object. Just like you can say a record in a table. That's it.
just like
Not a work
recording.
object.
Okay.
Yeah, a record in a
Okay.
table.
One more thing, like if we are creating an action, it is like reflecting in the proposition also, right,
Right.
Ravi? So
Right.
how, like maybe the background, the logic, how it works, like the data transform rule they're using here,
That you
how?
can trace it and see. I never explored. You can trace it and see if you want. Okay.
Okay, yeah, yeah. No problem. Yeah.
So that is
And
inbuilt feature. We don't need to customize that. No need to worry about that. Yeah, that will happen 100%. Okay. Yeah.
and
So
Ravi,
one
over here
small question.
when you mentioned that the Visa card is the NBA, does the
Hmm.
business assumes that the Visa card is the next, I mean, next best action, and they're creating the just the records over here, or you're creating all these records over propositions over here, and then you're doing some internal logic using Pega, and then you're saying the Visa card is the next best action.
Right, that's how you do. You will add the propositions here, you will do some logic, and you will identify the next best action in the strategy. Mainly we do in the strategy.
Okay, okay. So we write down all the propositions, then you're going to use the strategy, then you're going to say the Visa card is the next best action.
Right, right. So we will
Okay,
use these propositions in the strategy. Then we will define some logic based on whatever business will say. For example, business will say customers with high income and less age should get Visa card, something like that. So that
okay,
logic, everything you do it in the strategy.
okay. And the other question is, in the actions we have something called engagement policies, and the propositions doesn't have those engagement policies, right?
Yeah, yeah, that is for Pega marketing. So we don't need for logic. That is not a logic based feature.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
So one
Okay.
small question, guys. When we are creating the application, this few of the business issues and this business groups, will they be created automatically, or like all the business issues and business groups we have to
No,
create
no,
it
that's so.
manually?
We have to create everything manually. So, like again, if you are using the same NBAD template, then some automated issues and groups will be there. Okay, if you are using that, but most of the time, as per the requirement, you have to create all this manually. Since this is exercise system, these propositions, groups, all are there already. But in real-time projects, this will not be there. You have to create it manually. You have to create the business issue. Under that, you have to create the business groups. Under the business issue, under the business group, you have to create the propositions. Everything you do manually.
So for
Okay.
practice, we need to do on exercise system, or we need to create a new
You can
application.
do here in the exercise system. You have to do. So there is no
Oh,
other option. Yeah.
but I think you created a new application, right, Ravi? That is different.
Right. So the advantage here is this application is also a banking application. So when you are doing in your system, you can create a new application. Okay.
Okay.
So whatever I am working on is already a banking application. Okay. Yeah. Only difference is just the naming will be different, which you can avoid. The problem here is every time we have to take a backup and we have to import it. So that is the only difference. So that's why I'm just showing it, because this is also a banking project. Yeah.
And will you cover that CDH-SR concept in the next class?
Yes, sir. We have covered right now. We will continue from here.
I mean, Ravi, today we have created the groups. So yeah, in the group we went ahead and we created the proposition, but
Hmm.
the same thing, aren't we going to go to the CDHSR and then create the propositions from the main class?
From here, you are telling from create from here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Both are same, right? So from here also you have decision data. You see here, I came
Okay.
here, grow. Okay, grow. In under grow, I have credit cards. Under credit cards, I have decision data. So when you click on this again, same thing will open. Same thing again, you have to do the same thing. Okay, this group will create a topic called decision data, which I will explain you in the later sessions. But when you open this, it will be the same UI, same everything same. Okay.
I mean, Ravi, to not to get confused, there were two concepts. One is,
Hmm.
if you go to the group and create a proposition, then that
Hmm.
proposition applies to that specific group. And the other
Hmm.
concept was, if you go to the
Hmm.
CDHSR and if you create a
Okay,
proposition
you are
for,
telling to create here. Okay, okay. Yeah, we can do that. I'll do that. Not an issue. Yeah, I can create from here and show that also. That's not an
yeah,
issue.
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure, just to
yeah.
make sure. Thank you.
Mhm. Okay.